have a mic on the floor that we can pass around. Anybody else have a yes with it?
A clean heart.
A clean heart. All right. And all right. Not like anybody else. Original. Um, the dictionary says not false or copied, genuine or real. All right. So I took part of the chapter and just put it out so it's so we're gonna do a little bit of reading tonight. Um, so and bottom line is churches have compared their what they should do in their churches to what businesses are doing. Um, it was a point in time to whereas if you had a good church, good choir, good good choir, good preacher, music, you had a good church. People seemed pretty friendly. That was good. That's not completely out now, but people have would rather have a move of God and they see realness, and especially when they have a need, that need can be met. Not as you're giving them something. If they just need something, fine. If they see that you care, that's great. I've had people that go to the hospital, something happened, and I get upset because I don't know. And then, well, Bishop, I ain't want to bother you. I'm your pastor. What do you mean you don't want to bother me? I've and then I have some that knew that they would never hit the end of it if they didn't call me. They, Bishop, I'm in the emergency room. You want me to come sit with you? Bishop, you don't have to do that. No, but I came from, and I said it Sunday, and I say it all the time. I said it Sunday when I was on the hill because I was at home. Um, and I said I come from good godly leadership. I don't understand how you can be a pastor and one of your parishioners is in need. They're sick in the hospital. They're facing a crisis. A family member is transitioning or has transitioned, and you don't bother to call. You don't bother to go by. I had someone tell me, what's today, Wednesday? I had someone to tell me Monday night that they left the church because when their sister passed away, similar situation to my family. Sister passed away. The pastor didn't call, didn't text, didn't come by, didn't bring a chicken leg, didn't go by, didn't come to the funeral or anything. Did not say anything. As if that was not bad enough. Some months later, this person's father died. Has not heard anything. So that's authenticity. That's showing the real you. That's showing that you're selfish and you don't care about anybody but one person. That bothered me, and I said um I can't be associated with anything like that, and it made me check myself. Now I have other uh clergymen that can go if I can't be there, but you better bet your bottom dollar is only because I can't get there at that moment. Okay? And a lot of times there's somebody is going with me. It's uh uh you fine, you fine. Good to see you. I said I can't. What was I saying? Yeah, if I can't go, somebody I'm gonna send somebody. But you better bet your bottom dollar I'm coming soon after that. And when I go, a lot of times what I love about it is because Bishop Weaver's schedule can be crazy. A lot of times Bishop and I will go together. Um, right. We went after convocation, right. If it's not Bishop Weaver and I, it's Mama and I. If it's not Mama and I, it's Kay and I. And we do that. We're serious about that. Pastor Clay was just saying how Bishop Weaver and I came right after convocation to see her. So I things like that. Again, it speaks of authenticity. All right. Um, and people now, and you can't just appeal. And I'm skipping, I'm jumping around in the lesson so we can look at it. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to just talk about some things. This is for I might not we might not read it verbatim, but this is some good information for you. Listen, you can't just appeal to young people now. I've heard too many mistakes, too many aspiring pastors or new pastors say, I'm appealing to the college student. Okay. And when the college students go, first of all, college students, all they probably can do is sing and usher. Because when number one, they ain't got no money. You don't. Now, if you had college students like me join your church, oh, I'm gonna be the why? Because I was going to school full time, working a full time job, and a minister of music at a prominent church. So my mother and father taught me to get up and go to work. They just told me don't work myself to death. My daddy said to me, he said, slow down, son. He said, you got the rest of your life to work. He said, but I admire and appreciate your hustle. Right. I was not playing. I didn't want my mom and daddy having to do a whole lot for me. I'm like that now. I had to, and this ain't none of y'all business, but I'm just gonna share. We, when I preached in Oxford, knowing we were coming in convocation, but I just paid my car payment and paid my rent. That was $2,300 I had just kicked out right there. Okay, I knew the weekend was coming. I was gonna get paid again from my other one of my other jobs. I got my last check from Durham Public Schools May 31st. So she knew I was trying to hold on, penny pinch and make sure I paid my tithes. Because what the Lord would do is if you don't have it, somebody will walk here, blow on it, and what caught somebody to say, here. Mm. I got through preaching that night, had changed Samaj and I had come back in after he had helped me change. And I walked back up in the pulpit and was getting ready to give the benediction or whatever, or I had given it. And I was getting up and I felt this tap on my shoulder. All right? Yeah, Mama, I'm fine. No, are you all right? Do you need anything? I said, well, I'm good. I'm going to just cash at it. The Lord has to do her like that because I ain't going to go, I'm not going to come ask for nothing. Okay? I ain't want it now. Now, my children can do it to me. But, and the answer 9 times out of 10 is yeah. If I don't have it, let me give me a minute. Let me move something around. But I don't like and did not like asking my mama and daddy for nothing. And my daddy, rest his soul, say, call my mom. He said, Candy, make sure that boy got what he needs. That's how God does for us. So you might be saying, and I got witnesses in this room, you might be saying, I can't afford to pay my tithes. Let me help somebody real quick. You cannot afford to not pay your tithe. I have witnesses in this room. A sacrificial offering will be called for, and they will pay that last, right, Angel? And then you get down the road, and somebody call you and say, "I want to do this for you, or let me cash app you this." I'm telling you, as in the words of my father, what God will do. So let me encourage somebody. If you're halted between opinions and you don't know, pay your tithes. See, see. So you don't know. Listen, and stop feeling like. And I'm not saying this to be facetious, but stop feeling like God don't owe us something. We done what He asked us to do. If why serve a God that if you do what He asks you to do, He don't. You don't think He gonna pay you? You don't think He's gonna reward you? So, and you don't know how you gonna get it. But one thing I've learned is He always comes in at the nick of time. So I just want to say that to somebody. I wanted to throw that in for free. Okay. So authenticity in the marketplace. Um, let's look at number two. The uh, uh, point number two. The desire for excellence is being supplanted, meaning supersede or replaced by a new consumer value. Instead of searching solely for high quality goods and services, people increasingly make purchase decisions based on how real or fake they perceive various offerings. That comes from a book, Authenticity by James Gilmore and James Pine. All right? They don't, people know when you fake and when you're phony. It's one individual, my mother and I, and we love this individual dearly. What we say? We love this individual dearly, but they are so phony. Listen, I'd rather you be who you are. If we were we were talking about this another individual. They were looking and just, I got something to tell you. Remind me. But what I said was proven. This individual does not like themselves, and in their presence, you can perceive that from how from their statue, for how they maneuver. Listen, if you don't like yourself, it's gonna come out. If you don't like people, you just tolerate them, it's gonna come out. I heard an apostle say one time about her son, and she had the unmitigated gall to make this dude the pastor. I didn't say man, I said this dude. She gonna say, "Well, we know that prophet doesn't like people. Well, why are you making him the pastor of your church? Just because you tired?" I can't. My mother knew. Now, contrary to what some of y'all believe, I'm shy and I'm introverted. I talk only when I have to. If you put me in, and my mother knows this, you put me somewhere where I don't have to talk. I can just sit in the audience. I will sit right there. We were at a revival service one night in Henderson Grove Missionary Baptist Church in Morrisville up by my house. And one of my mother's co-workers had invited her to their revival. And so she said, "Well, come on, baby." So I went with her, just me and mama. I ain't had to share with Toby. I ain't had to share with nobody else. It was just me and mama. We went to that service and they were doing devotional service. And we were sitting there and the folks were singing. There was no music right then. And I'm just sitting in the audience. I won't clap in my hands. I won't say nothing. I was doing a KC. She said, "Go on up there and help him out." I said, "Do what?" "Go on up there and help them out." "Help them out how?" "Go to the piano." "This ain't my church." They ain't gonna mind. They know you from the area. Mama. She thought I was being hard. No, I didn't. I didn't want to go up there. I don't know them people. I didn't want to walk up there and then, Lord, my brother Shay, we were at a funeral. Shay really thinks he's my dad. We were at this funeral, family friend, my cousin, late cousin Julius, his sister-in-law, Shirley. We were at her service. Great big church. Me, Kim, Shay, David, we were sitting in the back like we were sinners. We were eating candy, snacks. Oh, we were cutting up so bad. Mama, Aunt Lucy, and Aunt Hazel was sitting up front. And so we was back there clowning and stuff. And so when Mama and Aunt Lucy and Aunt Hazel turned around, we said, so this lady got up and sang this song. I didn't really know the song, but just to show y'all how shy I am. The lady was singing, it's like she was dragging this song out. And the musician was struggling a little bit. He wasn't doing so bad, but he wasn't a Mario. So Shay says, "Get up there and go play that song." I said, "I don't know that song." He said, "You can do better than he do." I said, "I don't know that song." Mama, Aunt Lucy, and Aunt Hazel turned around. "You going up there to play?" I said, Mama turned around and stood up. "Get up there and go play." I said, "Oh, Jesus." Kim said, "Mama gonna get you." And my brother said, "Get up there and go play." I got up. I walked down the aisle like I became 6 years old. It was the walk of shame. I got up there and that Lord have mercy, that lady sang that song some more. I said, "The song ain't that long." I guess she felt good. And I was trying, I had to take a bathroom break. It does. And so she came and she's like, "Did you know that song?" I said, "No, ma'am." I was like, "I just played according to what you were singing." And she said, "Thank you so much." And she gave me, I made $50 just doing that. She said, "I want to do something for you." I said, "Well, I guess I didn't play so bad after all." So right. So you see, and like Women's Month, y'all saw Women's Day. I went sit right back there. Me and Whitney sat back there where Teresa is. I ain't had to say nothing. So don't get it twisted. Bishop just like, I do what I have to do because I'm the pastor. Okay. When I'm not being the pastor or being in charge, that turns off. Okay. So authenticity in relationships. We talked about that. We talked about how we talked about the real you. If you care, or if you don't. Okay. So let's look at true religion, biblical authenticity. All right. The emerging culture's hunger for authenticity poses a significant challenge for churches. The message is clear. If what you're offering is phony religion, we aren't interested. Okay. I told you it's not just to attract the young, but it should remind all of us of the biblical call to authenticity in our faith. All right. The book of James. James doesn't tell us who he's writing to. Okay. But he's writing to a handful of congregations that are scattered abroad. And we've already talked when he's talking about Paul um, preaching and 3,000 people got saved and were added to the church. That was not one church. That was like a mega convention, and little churches spread off from that. Okay, uh, though he never uses the word authenticity, it's clear that James's concern is similar to ours today. He wants his hearers to live the real, genuine, authentic Christian experience. That's all I care about. Okay? Stuff that matters to other people doesn't matter to me. Yeah, I think that you ought to have good sense. And when you come to church, I won't. I don't want brothers' pants to be too tight, and I don't want sisters' pants to be too tight, or your shirt be showing too much, or what you or your don't. You know, one of my coworkers, her daughter said, "When we come to your church, can we wear pants?" Yeah, baby. Just don't have your Lord have mercy hanging out. And she left. I said, no. I said, you don't do it for work. And she's one of my former students. I said, I know how you dress for work. What you wear to work is fine. She said, I can do that. You listen, we can't have more respect for our jobs than we do for God. So if they tell you that you can't, now they have guidelines. Now I have some guidelines for the choir and for ministers, but if they tell you at your job you cannot have tattoos shown. I had one job, they said you cannot show any tattoos. I wore because I have tattoos. I have a tattoo right here, and I got two tattoos right here. Because I had tattoos on my arms, what did I do? Wore long sleeve shirts until my boss said to me, I mentioned something. We were talking about tattoos, and she said, I said, yeah, I have tattoos. She said, where? I said, and I rolled up my sleeve. She said, why are you wearing long sleeves? I said, because it said in the guidelines and orientation we couldn't show tattoos. She said, Mario, don't nobody see that. She said, you don't have them up your neck and all over your face and stuff. She said, that's not distasteful or tacky. I said, okay. So she released me to wear short sleeve shirts if I wanted to. Okay. If by the way, I got a little side hustle I'm doing with Amazon. Don't ask me to deliver your packages because I cannot. Do not ask me, can you get a discount? Because you cannot. Because I can't. But we can't wear regular shoes. We have open toe shoes. We have to wear steel toe shoes. Okay. I was on Amazon. It's a funky steel toe tennis shoes. And they are affordable and they cute. I might have to just switch to wearing steel toes. But they're guidelines. But I'm not getting ready to look at somebody or frown at somebody because they come in with something a little tight on. Why? Because some of y'all do. And I know you got a mirror. If you don't, go see my mom. She got a mirror in every room in her house, including the kitchen. Now, what in the world do we need to look at ourselves for in the kitchen? But I'm not getting ready to become unglued. And I hate when people get, and I've been in churches and y'all have to, I hate it when people get up and a young lady comes up for prayer or she comes in and y'all, and you grab a sheet, not y'all, somebody grab a sheet. Hmm. This is a different, I can see if she comes up for prayer or gets the dancing or whatever, if that happens. But don't do it as soon as she come in. I was going to preach for a service at an apostolic church, and the bishop says, "Do the ladies at your church wear head coverings?" I said, "My mother does when she's consecrating a bishop." I said, "And if a lady wears a hat in my church, she does." Well, we keep. I said, "Try it," and I said, "And I will fight you before I open my mouth." I said, "You do that for your members." I said, "I don't do that in my church." I said, I said, that's too much like control. I said, you don't, I said, you can't do mess like that. And I said, and my members are bold and will say, no disrespect, Bishop. But what you ain't gonna do is, because that's my bishop right there. What you do in your house is your business. But you can't let it turns people off. You can't do stuff like that. Okay? Um, So I keep stuff like that in mind. And I think about it. When I go to somebody else's church, I know how I've been made to feel when I didn't come because I am the bishop or I am the apostle or I am the pastor and I come in like I'm just Brother Mario, like I'm a lay member. And I come in. I told y'all about the funeral, some of you, about the funeral I attended, and I had on the Argyle sweater and some black slacks, and I just come from work. The usher was nasty to me. Did not know who I was, but the pastor called me up because I was playing for my friend. That usher came back. When I got back from the piano, she had water, a towel, and everything for me. Mints. It should not matter. You listen, we don't know, and I'm glad my picture is taken down. Now mama's picture is gonna stay out there. I'll eventually get another. But I'm glad my picture is taken down. I don't need folk knowing I'm the pastor. I love when I throw people off and I walk up and they come in. I'm Mario. Thank you for coming. Mama do the same thing. Then she can't. They can't call her. She can't call her bluff because she's out there. It's front and center. And then when they see I played, he just plays organ. If I get up and preach or have pastoral preach, you the pastor. Most days. I just I don't that's it's not important because if my life does not show you the love of God and there's something different about me, then I'm failing. Mm, I don't care. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Who they are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Or that's right. That's right. It is. That's right. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. You gotta figure out who you are first. Very good observation. Um, I was Sunday. I was at my home church, and when I get y'all know how sometimes it can be unscripted, and I was between two or three messages anyway, and I got up and grabbed the mic, and I was talking about how good this man I enjoyed him singing, and I realized who his wife was. And I said, come here, let me shake your hand. I just enjoyed. I said, when I come back, I need to request for you to sing. He was into it. I mean, and just effortless. I mean, I went back to the office. I heard Rodney singing some song, and then I was like, wow. I love to hear Rodney sing anyway. So, um, and then when I heard it, I was like, wow. I didn't know him. And I said, this is, and I said to her, I said, Dad, pay attention. And she was like, mm-hmm. I said, where is he? I said, that dude can just flat out sing. I said, come here, I just want to shake your hand because I'm a music person. I just was doing that. He walks up and I got ready to walk to him and I said, whoo, I felt the anointing and I ministered to him. And he said to me after church, he said, Bishop, thank you so much. I needed that. We needed that. And I believe God. You don't know. I gave my testimony and I was like, I know Mom and Kay and them are sick of Toby is sick of hearing me talk about me being here from cancer. Do you know that two women came up for prayer that are facing cancer diagnosis? You don't know what people have need of. So and I'm gonna tell you, my home church, I love them dearly, but they can be a little tight. They know it. You can sing, you can play. Oh, they know we can sing and we can preach, but them gifts get to going into operation. People start giving you the side eye. They won't give me a mama no side eye Sunday, including the bishop. They held on to every word that God was speaking, and that's all they wanted. And they said you were on it, and the Lord used me to really encourage them. You know, you ain't got to be making to be excellent at what you do. And I said, Lord, I need a word for this house. Yeah, and then I said, I encouraged him. I said, y'all think I'm just coming for y'all? I was like, you don't know. This is like home base. This is when you charge. I said, so I'm getting a recharge, a refill. So, and that encouraged them. And I look, some people when I was growing up that would be up dancing and moving around, they're older now. So they can't move as fast as they used to. But they were waving their hands, they were smiling, they were getting with it you know, and I don't care whether they got a choir or not. The deliverance gonna have some good music, and it just, I mean, the service just flowed. So, and it was great to be there. But one of the best things that happened that made me smile, my God sister Kim got up to do the announcement. She said, "I'm just so glad." She said, "I don't mean any harm." She said, "But he's my Mario." She said, "He's our Mario." I said, "That's right." And she said, "To see where God has taken him and how God is using him." So listen, God will. You might think that you're just plain over vanilla. You're nobody. Let me encourage somebody. And I said it to them. Yeah, it is. Listen, God will raise you up in front of those who thought that you wouldn't go anywhere, you wouldn't be anything. They got familiar with you, and they have to recognize the hand of God on your life. They recognize the hand of God on our lives on Sunday. So let me just say, you ain't got to work at it. When God has anointed you, ain't nothing you got to work at. Like He told Moses, you open your mouth, I'll speak for you. Okay, all right. So let's keep moving. Ruben, you right on it. Let's true religion today at the bottom. We have at different points been confused about our identity. That's the problem. They're confused about their identity. Listen, we can't, and I said last week, we can't feel pressured to conform and support national goals. We have felt compelled to police the nation's morals, who marrying who that. I ain't got time for that. Let me make this abundantly clear. If you want to know where I stand on same-sex marriage, if you got a problem with same-sex marriage, then don't marry somebody of the same sex. Next. Don't come talking to me about that. Yeah, that's between you and some of y'all that's supposed to be straight and heterosexual. I didn't agree with who you married. You want me to be honest? I said, I said to my son, I said, it's certain folk that better not come and ask me about getting married or nothing else, because I'm gonna read them from A to Z, Genesis to Revelations, EIO. There's some people that need to be married, another child, or another relationship, like they need another hole in their head. Hmm. We learned this in seminary, but I have learned it to be a fact of life. Anytime that anybody talks about something all the time, that's what they have an issue with. There's a bishop in this area. I can't say he's got something to say about everything. And he finally one day, I sent because the Apostolic Council, we're in a group chat. He finally said something that was sensible. And I seen it. I said, finally, he said something sensible. And they said, right. Listen. hmm I'm like, why? What you're doing, and thank you, mama. What you're doing is holding a light over yourself, saying, look at me, I got a problem. I mean, right. Well, why are you so concerned about what, and I'm going to say this. Why are you so concerned about what gay and lesbian and whoever doing? Why are you so concerned? I don't play that. I don't be bothered with stuff like that. I if listen, I ain't got a problem with whoever you listen, as long as they ain't beating up on you or whatever. But even in that case, if you like it, I love it. I ain't trying to live in your house. Exactly. This woman, I mean, I just thank you. I listen. Somebody said one time, well, I just got to. I said, oh, you're upset because they've chosen to live in their truth. You want them to hide it? Listen, cause and I said because your truth is that you married and you don't want him, but the one you want, you sitting in here looking at. Listen, let's not listen. You better be careful. Don't come for me because I ain't sending for you. You better be careful how you come out of your mouth about people, and what they do is their business. You're right. Somebody said, I don't know how you and this Amazon gig going. I said the fact of the matter that you ain't paying one bill in me and Kay's house don't bother me. So what you think, I ain't got nothing to do with, and I really don't care. Why? Because at the end of the day, I need a paycheck so that me and baby boy can stay in the light. We can wash our bodies and our clothes. We got somewhere to lay our heads and keep eating. You ain't paying nothing. And that's why a few years ago I made some people mad. I said, until their names come on the bills that come to my address, I could care less what you got to say. Your opinion comes from the pit of hell. If you ain't contributing to this, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Okay? I'm being authentically who I am. That's why I sit and be quiet. And my mom and dad will say, better leave him alone. He gonna tell you something. I never forget. I was seeing this young lady. We had gotten engaged. One of the deaconesses, former deaconesses at the time. I never forget it. We were standing right there by where the bathroom and the sound booth are. And she says, I was co-pastor at the time. Mama was in this office. Co-pastor, you and this young lady, y'all been seeing each other for a while. You're going to school, you're in college, you got your own place, and da 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 da. She's being nosy. And y'all know, don't come talk to me about a whole lot before church. And I'm not a morning person, and at that time, service was at 9 o'clock a.m. And the bishop had asked us to be in place no later than 8:45. So I was being obedient to what my bishop and my mother both said because I like my head, and I didn't need my bishop nor my mother to say anything or look at me a certain way or to smack me. So anyway, so I was, hadn't I wasn't a coffee drinker then, Jeremiah, but I was, trying to pull it together. And she said, you all been dating for a while, you're engaged, you're going to school, and da da da, and you're gonna and you're working, and the Lord just really blessed you, and so when are you gonna get married? I was about 25. I said, in the course of life, you're born, you go to school, you graduate from high school, you go to college, get a career, you get married, have children, have grandchildren, you work, you retire, and then you might go to the old folks' home and whatever, and then you die. So since you want to know when I'm getting married, I want to know when you're gonna die. You got all these health conditions anyway. But you come out of your mouth without people even bothering you. I hadn't bothered her. She says, Bishop. Mama said, I done told y'all to leave him alone. Another day, we we done. Another day, we're y'all get your offering together. We were getting ready to my mother, mama, my one of my aunts and I, we were riding. They were going somewhere, and I was off work, and so I just drove for them. I mean, what I'm talking about. So when y'all getting married, this, and all this other kind of stuff. My mother says, sister, leave him alone. No, I done been around. I want to know, what you waiting on. I mean, y'all done been together forever. And talking with her hands and stuff. So, sister, leave her alone. Leave him alone. He gonna tell you something. I said, no, mama, I'll be nice. I said, we're working on it. I said, you'll know soon. Okay. So this aunt says, well, what would you have said? So I went through the same spiel. I said, bottom line is, you asked me when I'm getting married. You and your husband kind of old too, and moved around a lot. When you gonna die? Oh Jesus, I can't. Yeah. So so you watch how y'all watch them people that think they can roll up on you any kind of way, but you can't ask them nothing. I love her dearly, but since that point, she has kind of watched how what she said. Her and one of her other sisters, who is another singing star. Ain't nobody tell them nothing. Came to my choir rehearsal, I shut it right on down. I said, "Open your eyes and tell me which way you going." I can't believe my nephew and her children said, "We glad he told you. Maybe you'll listen then." So y'all, what so being authentic. But listen, I will say this, because a lot of us don't mince words. Um, I don't bother people, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm Marion and Nick's child, so if you don't want to know the truth, please don't ask me. Okay? Don't ever come to me saying, Bishop, I need some advice. I'm gonna say no. I'll share my thoughts because you're gonna do what you want to do anyway. Right? These are just if it were me, or this is how. Listen. So keep that in mind. But be sweet, y'all. Let's keep being sweet people. All right, eat rice and be nice. Listen, be sweet. Um, and I mean that. And people always say, "I have a good time when I come," and the people are so nice. Let's keep it that way. Okay. I know every day is not a good day. It, every day is a good day because we're alive. But things might have gone on through the course of that day that kind of rubbed you or whatnot. But be sweet. Make sure that you speak to people. Listen, children. Say, God, I don't have to tell you. And our children, our young people, I love. They are sweet. I get a hug from everybody, and and Tarier is funny. Pastor, Pastor. I heard her. She came. Are we singing two songs? Children pay attention. Listen, adults. Children pay attention. They know when you like somebody, when you got an issue with somebody, and they'll talk about it. My mama said, Like what is Broderick Rice, the gospel comedian, said this young lady came to church with this man, and he said to the man, he said, "Hey man, is that your wife?" My mama said, "They ain't the same lady you brought to church last week." Hey lady, is that your hair? Mhm. You that is it, you that your hair? You can't? Can you take it on and off? You can't. Yes, you can. What, mama? Show you take your hair on and off for the lady. So children pay attention and will repeat what you say. You can't listen. I remember, and I promise I'm done. I remember when my sister and auntie and Kay were at the house with us. So there was, living in the bishop's house, there was stuff you knew, and you just knew to play dumb. We would get to business meetings or whatever, and me and Kim be sitting, sister and brother, we sit side by side. And Toby, I guess we weren't good enough. Toby would always be sitting in the back with somebody else. Right. And so, um, anyway, we were sitting there, and Kim and James had gotten married. So Kim was not living at home. So we got to church, and Mama was talking about something in the business meeting. She said, "Bro, did you know that?" I said, "Mm-hmm. Why you didn't tell me?" Mommy said that you don't live in the house no more, so I can't tell you what's going on. I was like, "So you gonna have to take that up with her." So, but listen, be I rather, as this lady said, be real or be still. Okay, Mother Basil from Maryland, she said, "Be real or be still." So keep that in mind. And I know everybody's not the same. Okay, I don't expect you to be the same, but be nice. Be as nice as you can. And right, because some people, listen, some people gonna rub you. That's why we have to pray for the fruits of the spirit. Some people are anointed to piss you off. I'm just gonna tell you. I told somebody, I said, I love you, but you anointed to piss folks off. I said, you gifted at it. I'm that bad. Yes. So keep that in mind. Be sweet, y'all, and let's pray that the Lord will help us. And you might say, like this lady I know, I am sweet. I know, but ask the Lord to help you to be a little sweeter, baby. And so Mama would say all that. She'd say, "Sweet." So when we go places now, we be in the car together. I say, "Be sweet. Don't you go in here and embarrass me." So I love y'all. We're gonna continue this next week. Uh, next week is leading into the 4th of July, so we will not be here next Wednesday. All right. I want you to enjoy that week. Don't be mad. You all right, Teresa? I don't want you upset. So, but next week is July the 3rd. So Thursday is the 4th. So we will not be. I want you to enjoy after Sunday. I want you to enjoy, and we'll be back at church second Sunday. Well, Sunday, whatever that Sunday is, first Sunday. So we'll give directives. All right. We are in dress down season. Let me say this: starting after Sunday, because Sunday is union. And I don't want to rush Bishop or anything. Um, but starting first Sunday in July, we're going to be an hour of power, 12:30, and we're going to be out of church. We're going to endeavor to be out by 1:30. That's my plan. If the Lord do something else, it's on Him. The apostle ain't trying to do that. I ain't trying to hit. It's the summer. It's hot, and I want us to enjoy our family. All right. Um, please keep in prayer my aunt Lindora and her family. Her is this your last remaining? Her last brother passed away. So he'll be funeralized this weekend. So let's pray for her and her family. Hmm. That's fine. So yeah, I want you to. So this, so please keep her. They are a very tight knit family, like we are. So we are a tight knit family. So let's. I didn't know I had brunch with lunch with my cousin Orlandis, and then Mama and Toby came, and so Mama says, "How's your mom doing? Dealing with the passing of her brother." And I said, "Who?" And they said, "Uncle Lambert." I said, "When he died?" What? So Kay hadn't told me nothing. Kay didn't tell me nothing. So, so oh, y'all just found it. Okay, so y'all get a pass. All right. But keep them in prayer. This was one of the comedians of our family. So, he right, very sweet guy. So he is going to be missed. So pray for our family. So, right. So, my cousin Kenneth has some of his mannerisms. So Kenneth can be a clown too. So yeah. So anyway, so if there's nothing else to claim my attention, let's stay. I'm gonna give. Make sure I get my own. We have to stop with this challenge and welcome it, embrace it. Okay, so I told you I've reached out, and so I've got some answers. And so we want to check some things out in the fall. We're going to keep it together while we're here. Hopefully, we don't nothing prayerfully. God has kept us, and He is. All right. So, uh, but we will be knowing something prayerfully by the fall, which way we're going. All right. So, again, prayerfully, we're not just jumping out and making any moves. So, we need you all to keep listening. Please pay your tithes. When we have to do a fundraiser, please participate. This is our house. If you don't have enough money to pay your rent, keep your lights on at home, what you got to do? Make arrangements. Make sure that you can do it. So let's make sure that we're doing our part. This is our house. We all roommates. Okay. All right. Keep that in mind. Okay. Look at your neighbor. Say, look, roommate, do your part. Do your part, roommate. Father, we thank you for this time of sharing. We thank you, God, for how you have brought us together. Thank you for what our eyes have seen and our ears have heard. We praise you tonight that we're becoming more like you, and you're helping us to see our strength is perfected. Your strength is perfected in our weaknesses. And when we think that we don't have enough, you are more than enough. We thank you for every provision that has been made and that you are making right now. The ones we know that we need and what we don't even know, we thank you that the way is being made. You are the way, God. Father, remember the Perry family at this time of bereavement. God, remember our church family, the remainder of those we don't see. Lord, remember Victory Nation as a whole. Father, keep us covered with your precious blood. Dismiss us from this place, but